Okay, today I'm going to go over how to download, install, and set up Ubuntu Mate 18.04. This is a distribution that seems to work the best for me. I usually have very little problems with it. I've had a lot of problems with a lot of other ones. It's always just one little thing here with one distro or one little thing with another distro, but Ubuntu Mate always seems to work really good for me. Since all the new flavors of Ubuntu have come out, I've been kind of distro hopping, and I'm going to do this video as kind of it's basically for people that are new to Linux, people that have been around Linux for quite a while. This is going to be pretty boring stuff for you. Okay, so first thing we want to do is actually get a Linux distribution ISO. Best place to go is DistroWatch. DistroWatch has all the different Linux distributions along the right side over here. Ubuntu Mate is right here. So if we just click on it, then we'll come let it load. Okay, so we'll go to their home page. Go up here to the top where it says download. Click download. Okay, once the download page opens, you have a couple of different options here: 64-bit, 32-bit. If you've got less than 2 gigabytes of RAM, you'll want to use the 32-bit. Otherwise, use this 64-bit. They're both going to be the same thing, so if you're going to be installing a 32-bit, what I'm going to go through with the 64-bit is going to be the same thing. You can still follow along with the 32-bit. So I'll click this once. Okay, on this page you can choose from the latest release or the last release or the last LTS. We're doing the newest release, 18.04. This means it was released in 2018, 4th month. LTS is long-term support, so we'll go ahead and click it. And we'll choose the download method. This one's the one you're going to want to pick, unless you know a lot about torrents and stuff. So anyway, we'll click this. Click Save File. Click OK. Now, like I said, I have really slow internet. It says it's going to take 16 hours. I've already downloaded it, so I'm just going to go ahead and click Cancel that. Now, once you get it downloaded, you're either going to put it in Virtualbox like I'm going to show you, or if you want to install it on an actual computer, you're going to need to put it on a USB thumb drive. The best program for that is Etcher. This is the website for Etcher, etcher.io. They have download links for Linux, Windows, Mac, whatever you want to use, and this Etcher works really well. It's really easy to use. Okay, so now that we've got both of these, and I actually have other videos on how to install Etcher on Linux, and it's pretty self-explanatory on Windows. I also have a video on another program on how to burn ISOs to thumb drives on Windows, if you want to check those videos out. Okay, we've got that. So we're going to go ahead and open VirtualBox. We're going to click New. Okay, and it is a Linux. It's based on Ubuntu. We'll click Next. Okay, we'll give it some memory. You can only use half the memory in your system, but I'm going to give it about 4 gigabytes. Click next. Create a virtual hard disk. Click create. And at the point we get to where we're ready to boot it is where I'll start going through both the Virtualbox and the actual live install if you were installing it to your system. So click next. We want it dynamically allocated. And I'm going to give it about 25 gigabyte hard drive. Click create. Alright, click settings, system. I'm going to give it 2 CPUs. I could give it more, but that's good. Display video memory. We're just going to slide this all the way to the end. It's only going to let you use 128 megabytes. I'm going to enable 3D acceleration. Storage. This is where you put your ISO in. So we'll go down here where this disk says empty. Click it. Come over here to this disk on the right. Click it. Click choose virtual disk options, and it'll come up with the stuff that you've got downloaded to install. So okay, so now it says Ubuntu Mate 18.04. Alright, the rest of the stuff is fine, so we'll click OK. We're going to click Start, and this is where you would be if you're downloading or installing this on an actual system. This is going to be the same as hitting the power. Okay, so okay, at this point right here, if you can either try it. Sometimes you may have to do this to be able to set up your internet. Right now in VirtualBox, it's just automatically uses the internet of the host system. If you're installing it on a computer, you will need to set up either your Wi-Fi or make sure you're plugged in directly to your modem. I'm going to go ahead and click install. My language is English, so I'm going to click continue. I want a normal installation. I want to download updates while installing and install third-party software for graphics, Wi-Fi, additional media formats. Especially if you're running dual graphics, like if you've got an Intel chip with built-in graphics and you have an NVIDIA GeForce, then you'll want this stuff to download as you go and be set up that way. Whenever you reboot, it just comes up and works. So we'll click continue. All right, we're going to erase the disk and install Ubuntu. This is just the disk in VirtualBox. It's not going to affect your main operating system or the rest of your hard drive. So click install now. This is just telling you about the changes it's going to make to your virtual disk. We'll click continue. And once you select your time zone, I'm in Central Time Zone, not really close to Chicago, but still Central Time Zone, so click continue. And it's going to want you to put your username in and a password. Same password again. Okay, I'm going to click it to log in automatically. If you leave this clicked, every time you boot your system, it's going to require you to put your password in. You know, if you've got people around that could mess with your system, then you might want to keep it this way. I just want to walk by, hit the power button, and walk back, and it's booted to the ready to use. Click continue. Okay, and this will take a little bit. I will edit out a lot of the weight just so that it doesn't take so long. Okay, now that the installation is complete, go ahead and click Restart now. It says please remove the medium, then press Enter. In Virtualbox, it will automatically remove it for you. This is where you would pull the thumb drive out of your computer and hit Enter if you were installing it on the system. Okay, it's booted up. I'll click View to go to full screen mode. If it does not go to full screen mode on yours, you'll probably have to wait until after you've installed the Virtualbox Guest Edition. I'll show you how to do that here in just a little bit. Software Updater. Whenever your system needs to update, there will be a little pop-up down here. You can update whenever you want to. You don't have to update if you don't want. So go ahead and click Install now. While we're waiting on the software updater to finish updating, I'll show you a couple more things. Here in the right-hand corner where it shows the time, it says it's 17:48. You want to put this to AM, PM, just right-click, click Preferences, and then you can change this to 12-hour format. You can also add your location for the weather. The thing about locations is it's not going to show a lot of locations that don't have weather stations. For instance, I'm close to Jacksonville, Arkansas, and it doesn't show anything. But Jacksonville, Arkansas is close to Little Rock, Air Force Base. So we'll click that, and I'm only a few miles from there, so we can do that. Click OK. We'll click Weather, and then you can change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit, and the wind speed. Change it however you want. Click Close, and it'll give you, it's sunny, 88 degrees. Usually when you hold your mouse over, there will be a little drop-down pane. Right, so now it says 5:49 p.m. instead of 17:49. Okay, software on the computer is up to date. Click OK. Now, you want to change the background. Right-click anywhere. Go down to Change Desktop Background. And they've got pictures to choose from in here. I think this one's pretty cool. So we'll change that. If you want one from the internet. Okay, so we want to use this picture as our wallpaper. If you right click on it, you notice it doesn't say anything about setting as background. So what we'll need to do is go over here to your home. Go down to like pictures or something. We're going to create a folder, call it desktop wallpaper. Okay, now we just right click this, click Save Image As. We'll go back to the folder that we just created and click Save. Okay, I saved it. We'll close this. And we do like we did before, right click, Click change desktop background, then click add, and here's our picture that we just downloaded. Click open, and there it is. It's not a very high quality picture, but you get the idea of what you have to do to be able to change it. So that I did that. You can change it to center, which makes it a little bitty. That's why, because it's all stretched out. It was a little picture. Yeah, it's a nice looking picture. We'll use that. Okay. Go up here and click on menu. This additional drivers. This is where you're going to get, like if you got VirtualBox installed, or if you installed this in VirtualBox, then you'll want to click one of these. I usually just click the top one. If you've installed this actually on a machine, this is where your drivers for your video card and stuff like that will come up. The proprietary drivers. Click apply changes. Put your password in. And if you were having a problem with this going full screen in VirtualBox, once you do this, then that should fix that problem. You should be able to go full screen. Okay, the additional drivers have finished doing their thing, so we're going to close that. So I'm going to go back up here and click the menu again, and I'll scroll down to close to the bottom. Screensaver, we'll click on this. This will let you change the screen lock or turn it off. So if you click right here, when your screensaver comes on, if you've got this clicked, when your screensaver comes on, it's going to lock your desktop to where you have to put your password back in. It's just one more step I don't need on mine, so I just turn the lock off. If the screensaver comes on, I just move the mouse, hit the space bar, and I'm right back at the desktop. Close that. Click on menu again. Come back down close to the bottom. The software boutique. And they've got a lot of really good software you can install very easily. It's easy to install just about anything on here. If you come over here to games, they've got lots of neat little games. This is a really cool game. But you've also got Minecraft. You'll have to have a Minecraft account. It's not going to let you play it for free, but you can install it through the software boutique. Steam. This is the Steam for Linux. There's a lot of really good Steam games that you can install on Linux and play them. You're not going to be able to install Skyrim through this. You'll have to actually use Play on Linux. There is a way that you can use Play on Linux to install the Windows Steam, but that's a different video. All right, if you come over here to servers, there's actually a Minecraft server that you can install through the software boutique. Under graphics, you've got Blender is really cool. There's GIMP and Inkscape. This is all free open source software. It doesn't cost anything. So show you how this works. We'll install a small quick game. This I think is a cool game for wasting time. We'll click install. All right, now it didn't do anything that you really notice because it's waiting for you to commit up here. So you can go through and you can click other stuff. You want to install several things at once. But once you've got the things you want to install, come up here and click this bulk queue, and then click apply changes. And it's installing. You have to put your password in. Okay, so Frozen Bubble has finished installing. We'll click Finished. Alright, now if you go up here to Menu and to Games, here's your Frozen Bubble. If you want it on your desktop, you can right click it, pin to desktop. Then you have Frozen Bubble here. If you decide you don't want it in here anymore, you can go down here. You can remove it right here. I'm going to leave it on here. Alright, so we'll click back on Menu, go down to Mate Tweak, click it. Okay, here you can really change the layout and look of your computer. So if you click on Panel, there's a drop down menu here. Familiar is the way it's set up right now. Contemporary, whenever you change these, this is telling you what's going to happen. Changing the layout will completely replace and reset the current configuration. Are you sure you want to replace this layout and potentially lose any customizations you might have made? Stuff like your weather and your locations up here, it may drop those out and you'll have to reset them. We'll click OK. Yep, I dropped it out. Okay, so this is the contemporary look. Sometimes you may have to do it a couple of times. Right now it's still thinking. You can see the cursor is a little spinning circle. Go to Redmond. Redmond will put everything down here where it's similar to Windows. It's also similar to the Mate desktop on Linux Mint. The Mutiny will make it look like traditional Ubuntu. Pantheon looks like Apple, I believe. Yep, so you've got your little bar down here at the bottom. But if you click on Menu, you still got your menu up here. Cupertino. It also still looks like Apple, but whenever you click on this up here, you got a full screen of all your apps and programs. So I'm going to put this back to familiar. All right. And as you can see, we lost the weather that we had. So it's not that hard to get it back. Sometimes if you go clicking around through this, changing it real quick, you may wind up getting a pop-up with an error message. It's not going to be a huge ordeal. You should be able to just go ahead and click back on it, and it should be fine. All right. Let's go back down to the software boutique for a minute. Because I'm installing this in Virtualbox. We click search. There's Kodi. It's a video player. But Virtualbox right here. You can actually install Virtualbox through the software boutique on Linux and play with other Linux distributions. If you have installed this on an actual computer, you're not sure you really like it, install VirtualBox. Play with some other distributions, see if you like them better in VirtualBox. If you find one you like, then you can install it on your computer, install a VirtualBox on it. I've got another video on how to install VirtualBox on Windows 8.1. It also works on Windows 10. It still works. The video is a little outdated, but the procedure is still the same. It still works. In the video, I also show you how to set it up to where you have 64-bit boxes and not just 32, because a lot of times when you install it, it'll only have 32-bit. All right, that's pretty much it for the video. If you click like or subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Plus, you'll get the notices whenever I post other videos. As soon as I get through editing this video and posting it to YouTube, I'm going to wipe it and put Ubuntu Mate on here. I'm still planning on trying to do some videos on how to install World of Warcraft on Linux and EVE Online. All right, thanks for watching.